of that department. Finance and administration is a nebulous organization whose functions are sometimes difficult to describe. The sales guys think F&A is a wholesaler over in New Jersey. The research department thinks F&A is like S&M, whatever that is. And the marketing group thinks F&A is a new chain of supermarkets like the A&P. Well, the guy in charge of all this confusion is our next speaker. Steve Gallagher said to me that if you want to spend a nice, quiet evening by yourself, have dinner with Gil Schneider. And he also said, don't forget to bring your American Express card, because these guys from F&A never pick up a check. And Steve should know what he's talking about. Here now is the head of the House of Seagram's Finance and Administration Department, Gil Schneider.
Howdy. You know something? The manufacturing folks at Seagram's are probably the most unappreciated people in the whole company. Without us making all this good stuff, sales guys wouldn't have a dang thing to sell. And the marketing folks, they wouldn't have a dang thing to complain about. Don Nicholas, who runs this whole shooting match, could talk a blue streak about all the doohickeys and gewgaws he's got. From the stainless steel tanks, to how Fred buys the grain, how Larry runs a distillery, and how the bottling line hardly ever breaks down, and how nothing ever gets touched by human hands. Well, you can believe what you want, boys and girls, but if you really want to know how we make this stuff, take a good look-see at these pictures I made with Billy Bob's new camcorder he got last Christmas. Now I'd like you all to meet the chief honcho of Seagram's manufacturing department, my good buddy, Don Nicholas.
It is now my distinct privilege to introduce to you our next speaker, Marty Bott, who is responsible for the House of Seagram sales department. Although sales is the lifeblood of any organization, this man has never held a field sales position in his 34 years with the corporation. The marketing department feels that his salespeople are giving the product away, that is when they're not playing golf. The F&A people will tell you that Marty is so inept he can't add two numbers together. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the man who has had a computer in his office for 17 months and still doesn't know how to turn it on. Seagram's Executive Vice President of Sales, Marty Bott.
Our first speaker today is in charge of the Seagram Marketing Department. Marketing Department. Damn these bifocals. We all know what marketing is. It's when I go shopping for fruit and veggies and liver pate at the supermarket, isn't it? When you ask the sales group about marketing, they always like to talk about the great successes of the marketing department. Brands like El Charro, Old Breed, Corker, Benchmark, 100 Pipers, Tuaca, Igor the Invisible, I like that one. Parfait Rouge, Seagram's imported vodka, Ariel, and that chocolate stuff that Marty used to like, Van Dyke. And good gosh, what are we going to do with all the coupons they keep pushing? So now, Kmart shoppers, here's the head of Seagram's marketing department, the creative and innovative Tom McInerney.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the head of the MIS department. Most of the field thinks that MIS stands for men in skirts. But I know that MIS means Misinformation Systems. And who better qualified to lead this misguided group than Shelley Katz, a guy who has been with the corporation for over 30 years and has had over 30 jobs during that time. He still can't find a place for himself. Sheldon runs the Management Information Services Department with an iron fist and a velvet tongue. Or is it the other way around? Well, it doesn't matter, because he always gets his way and he always gets the job done. Maybe that's why IBM calls him an SOB. Where do you think all the numbers come from that the F&A group can't wait to crunch? You've got it, MIS, and they get them PDQ. So now, here's a guy who had spent a lot of time on the LIRR, but secretly would like to work for KLM or BMW. The VP of HOS's MIS, SK.